Up a game in their quest for a larger share of the $30,000 prize pool, BONKS comes to game 2 here, loaded for bear on northern waters. Bringing Ohio, Yamato, Des Moines, Venezia, Moskva, Stalingrad, double gearing, and a Z52. From the North Spawn, talk to me about OHBOY stats.
Oh boy, EU, Conqueror, Shikishima, double Des Moines, Moskva, Stalingrad, Gearing, and double Marceau. And they have actually split the double Marceaus. One is going with the Gearing, the other one is heading over towards B.
Intriguing.
Yeah, this map can be pretty good for the cross shots. I'm expecting particularly the Shikishima and the the Shikishima and the Yamato to be making those long range shots, looking to exploit those diagonals, because especially at the beginning of the map, as you can see here, quite a lot of the ships will be going diagonally towards the A and the C caps. And so anyone who gets spotted will have their broadside exposed to these massive guns. And Yamato can hit just as hard as Shikishima.
Indeed. BONKS going for a more even split. Gearing Moskva, Ohio, and Venezia headed to C. Whale Biologist classic Z52 play in the middle will be happening momentarily, while they send Gearing, Des Moines, Stalingrad, and Yamato over to A. So I'll be very curious to see how they react to the discovery that they are quite a bit outnumbered on firepower and number of ships over here on the C flank when the time comes.
Yeah, we're seeing this massive group of BONKS. You've got these 4 ships heading over towards A, and they're pretty much uncontested. Totally Balanced is way up on the B line, expecting to kite. So OHBOY definitely going for more of a BC strategy here, whereas BONKS going for all 3 caps at once. Gearing pushing torpedoes through. There's no one there. They don't know that yet. But the Gearing pushing through, expecting one of the Marceaus probably to be coming over the top of A to find those torpedoes. But yep, there's no one home. So Battleship Nagato, once they realize that, will be able to simply go in and cap A completely uncontested.
Todd Howard's pushing his torpedoes back through this kind of narrow gap, looking for reunited Stalingrad. Have to see if he can sneak any through there. That's a tough angle. Early Moskva radar here from, that's Bobonk OnlyFans, looking to see what he can see as he's reversing here. He will catch sight of Endern here briefly in just a second, I think. I'd be curious to see if they do anything about it. There's a counter radar from United Stalingrad.
Counter radar from Reunited, and also I noticed Whale Biologist, I think, popped Hydro at the same time. Probably just to check the pink camouflage wasn't right there. Whale Biologist being forced off the cap, with Marcelo lobbing over that island along with Papega Sniper. Yeah,
OHBOY ready for that Z52 play.
Yeah, those Conqueror shells hit hard. Okay, the torpedoes towards Reunited look like they didn't come to anything from
They did not.
Todd.
They did not, and the Venezia got one chip salvo into Endern. That's Addy back into Venezia, got a chip salvo into Endern and reset him, but the radar pushed Todd Howard's off of C. That's going to allow Endern to pick that up, and OHBOY will grab the first cap of the game here and start moving up on points.
Gearing of Battleship Nagato for BONKS being super cautious. No need for it, of course, but they don't know that, or didn't know that, so only just now dipping into the cap. But better safe than sorry, I guess. So they will be grabbing A, and of course that will just start ticking. With both other caps able to be contested, but if you are Whale or if you are Todd, contesting those caps against that many ships is going to be a dangerous proposition.
I gotta say, one of the things that I like early, and I feel like a ship that has the potential to be a decisive pick in this map, is Addy's Venezia, because from that angle, and you can see Addy's trying to turn get all his turrets turned around, right? If you remember several seasons ago, I remember playing clan battles. Venezia does horrible things to Stalingrad at longer ranges where you can drop those SAP shells through his superstructure onto his deck armor and so on. Addy has the possibility to be very impactful in this match, farming out Reunited or Podnike's Moskva over here, as long as he doesn't get pushed too hard by the Shikishima.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember playing Stalingrad in clan battles, and basically once you're in position, if there's a Venezia shooting at you, you're going to be taking between 10 and 15k a volley, every time. And certainly until your superstructure becomes saturated. And so, yeah, Addy can put down some really pretty consistent fire on anything that's sat to stationary.
At the moment, they... Go ahead.
BONKS being forced to kite away slightly here, in a very similar position, actually, to Addy. Moskva, a little bit of a different ship, quite accurate, but able to drop HE instead of SAP down onto the Stalingrad as well.
I really like OHBOY, the plan, the effort they put into this plan to deal with the Z-52 in the middle of the board. They obviously came with knowing that BONKS was going to try this, was going to work on this. Reunited just radared to push Whale Biologist back off the cap yet again. They're not wasting those Stalingrad radars for when he's there. They're like just fishing for him, making him back off, ensuring that they're ticking up as much of the B cap early on as possible.
Yeah, they're forcing BONKS to contest B and C with inferior numbers, and that is forcing BONKS to have to try to come out of A. So you've got the Des Moines and the gearing here sitting in the entrance to A in the middle, trying to influence the B cap, gearing, throwing torpedoes across the top of the cap, which, if Pink Camouflage is very unlucky, may find home. But of course, if you were Azuki here, you can't really go forwards because you've got the Conqueror just around the corner to shoot you, so you can't move anywhere. The Stalingrad of Turret Bonk is a bit out of it at the moment. I'm suspecting at some point they may try to redeploy Turret Bonk or push forward to try to catch Pepega Sniper or Totally Balanced.
7 minutes gone. OHBOY working on a 150-point lead here on the strength of their early cap advantage. Both teams trading very evenly. No clear health advantage exists. Probably the lowest ship on the board would be Whale Biologist Z-52, but he's still got some smoke, and his low detection should keep him in the game a little longer. He's got some help now. Battleship Nagato rotating into the B cap from the west, backed up by Azuki's Des Moines. I think that's finally going to allow them to push these Marceaus out of here and finally pick up B.
Camouflage having to just do a little bit of dodging there. Pink Camouflage spotted currently, so there will be some Des Moines shells coming over. And also Yamato taking a shot there. Pink Camouflage down to 15k. Contact
radar going up.
Battleship.
Yep. Radar finds Nagato as he snuggles up to this island in B. It's not going to be comfortable because Max... Well, how far is Max away? Over here on the 10 line. And he's probably too far. That's 20 kilometers. I don't think he'll have a shot from that angle.
So as you said, BONKS have rotated the gearing in and the Z-52 out. They don't want to risk losing Whale Biologist when they can simply put a higher health destroyer into the cap, although of course gearing does not have the Hydro that Whale Biologist has. But they still have radar coverage of that cap. Marcelo rotating around to come into the cap from the side. Marcelo has been playing around this square, basically, trying to make sure that what was Whale Biologist, what is now Battleship Nagato in the gearing, doesn't have an easy time of it. They are actually going to make contact here, I think. No, maybe not quite close enough. He is spotted. Battleship Nagato being forced to smoke there.
To see if they get a radar and to fish him out of that smoke. BONKS doing a really good job. We were talking early how long it was going to take them to realize they were kind of grossly outnumbered and so on and so forth at the 9-10 line. Didn't take them very long. They've moved BONKS Moskva up to the kind of mirroring sort of reunited Stalingrad position in the middle of the board, backed up by Hattie's Ohio, while the gearing and Addy's Venezia continue to spot and harass these guys pushing down the 10 line.
Okay, so the point situation still very much in BONKS' favor here, which kind of, if you look to the beginning of the match, that's probably going to be slightly surprising, but they have actually managed now to hold on to B for quite some time, and that has enabled them to get that points advantage, although the points are still quite close. No ships down yet, both teams on very similar health. Very, very close match.
Indeed. I really like BONKS, the position they've managed to kind of work themselves into here with the double radar coverage on B is going to make it a real challenge for OHBOY to work a destroy back in there to try to steal that cap away. That should allow BONKS to slowly close this gap. It's down to about 100 points now as we cross over the halfway mark of the game.
So it looks like OHBOY have decided that Addy has got to go. So they've got Endon pushing down to keep that spot going, while the Des Moines from the smoke and Eternal Titan take some shots and force Addy up against the border. Gearing coming down. I'm not quite sure what Todd is planning on doing here. Maybe just throw some torps across the Shikishima. It's kind of unclear to me what this OHBOY play is designed to do. Maybe if they can get Addy down, but that's a tough prospect on 40k.
That's a tough call. I mean, Venezia is not super squishy unless you catch her in the broadside with the right shells. And of course, Shikishima doesn't really care about your armor scheme anyway, does she?
No, with that overmatch, certainly Shikishima can, if it catches the Venezia right, can actually do a lot of damage. But actually, the Shikishima is completely ignoring the Venezia and is looking at the middle of the map. Trying to see if either the Ohio or the Moskva just reverse a little bit too far.
They've been beating up Hattie pretty good. I think some of that is some of the Conqueror work we're seeing as well. Hattie's been under a lot of hate in that position.
Shikishima is actually firing on Azuki thighs on the other side of the map and lands a 10k volley from 28.5 kilometers.
Goodness gracious. Well, coming up on 8 minutes to play. BONKS has nearly tied this game, but Addy's going to take some torpedoes here. 2. Oh, barely dodges the 3rd. That is big damage. That definitely changes the complexion of how that thing's working at the bottom of the map. Hattie's going out.
Yeah, Hattie's going down. There we go. That's Hattie. Addy also in trouble at the bottom there, as you said. Yeah, this does open up that side of the map for OHBOY to push through, and I think this was the plan. Try and force Addy off, push through. Todd Howards is not on that much health here. And the OHBOY team on this flank.
The Stalingrad from downtown takes care of the Des Moines, the BONKS Des Moines that was over here on the edge of A, right as Whale Biologist was trying to smoke him up.
Des Moines of Max takes a torpedo there from Todd as the gearing re-smokes him. Max down to 20k and healing, but bringing fire now down onto Baobonk. Baobonk taking fire from 2 directions here, front and back.
OHBOY up 2 ships, up quite a chunk of health, up 200 points. Looking really good right now to force a game 3.
Yeah, to be up on points but down on caps is a pretty good position to be in if you're in position to move into that second cap. And once they manage to get Baobonk down here, I think they will be in a position to do that, because that's going to remove that radar coverage and enable Marcelo or Pink Camouflage to move in.
Val's going out right here. There he goes. Conqueror Fire finally claims him.
They could actually just win on kills here.
Yeah, I mean, the next thing they kill will tick them over. They're only ticking up 1 cap, but for the moment, it's enough, right? They're on 950 points. They win in basically 60 seconds. A single kill will end it. And then, I mean, I don't know where they're going to get it, but they don't really need to worry about chasing it because they're going to win anyway.
No, I think what they'll simply do is Pink Camouflage will move down into B here. That will obviously increase their points income if they cap it.
Addy's going to take torpedoes, and that's
White Biologist will go down, and that ends the match.
2 quick kills right there. That match just looking as super dominating for OHBOY, but we're going to game 3.
Absolutely 1-1, and this is the decider for the 3rd place. Will it be EU or will it be NA for 3rd place? Back to Chrysanthos while they reset for the decider.